Hi, I'm Dr. Matt B, and these are your emotional minutes. And welcome back. And I'm actually out here today doing one of my most enjoyable activities, skiing. And so today I wanted to talk about enjoyable activities. And doing enjoyable activities really has a lot of benefits for positive emotions. We can feel really a sense of joy in the moment, appreciation, excitement, even. And then after the fact, we might feel a lot of gratitude for the experience we had, a sense of accomplishment from doing the things that we did. And so, enjoyable activities can really encompass a lot of things. It can be something physical like skiing, it can be something like going for a bike ride or a scooter ride, doing some sort of craft or activity with a friend or a family member, or even just reading up or commenting online on a topic of interest that you might have. Now, a lot of times people might say, well, enjoyable activities, that's great. Obviously, an enjoyable activity is going to give you joy or be enjoyable. But it's actually really surprising the extent to which most of us actually don't really sort of put or schedule these things into our week and really sort of make sure that we actually get in enjoyable activities that really have a lot of benefits for positive emotion. So things like focusing attention away from negative emotions or negative or stressful situations in our lives, and of course boosting our mood and giving us, more positive mood throughout the day or throughout the week. So it really takes a lot of intentional action or purposeful action to really make sure to get those enjoyable activities in if you're wanting to, have a good time with them and get those positive emotion benefits from them. And of course, what is considered enjoyable activities can really be different for different people. So, one of the first things that can be helpful is really sort of generating your own log or your own list for yourself about what those things are. And so, again, those are going to be different for different people, but what are really sort of those you things that give you that sense of enjoyment, that sense of sort of pleasure and appreciation and even excitement or small doses of excitement in the moment while you're doing them. So really these can be physical or non-physical activities. Might be sort of an athletic sport, or skiing, hiking, something like that, one of those activities. But it also could be something you might do at home. Maybe it's some sort of puzzle you like to do, or doing a craft, or gardening, or something like that. It's really less about what the activity is and more about the enjoyment that you get from it. And it can be a really good thing to have a mix of those. Maybe some things that are things you can do at home, maybe by yourself, but also a mix of things where you can maybe go out and do with a friend, or maybe it's something you do in the outdoors, or something out in public, for example. Another thing is to generate ones that are both social and non-social in nature. We can't control other people's behaviors, and I'm sure you've had a lot of instances where you wanted to do something and maybe even had it planned, and then somebody canceled and couldn't go, and then maybe you didn't end up doing it. Well, having those things you can do with other people is actually a really good thing. But then making sure you also have some things that you can do sort of by yourself, sort of activities you might do at home, or things that you might enjoy, where you don't have to, or you can break them out if there's no one around to do things in a social sense or with family members or something like that. So to really still get those benefits of doing enjoyable activities. And also, it can be good to have a mix of things that you might schedule in. So these are the things, for me on Sundays during the winter, I go skiing. So that's a scheduled thing, but then also having things that you can break out. Maybe it's some crafts you do in your home, or, a website you like to go on to chat with people, for example. And this is related to a topic we've talked about before on emotional minutes called behavioral activation, which is having those things kind of plugged in maybe multiple times throughout your week that you can schedule in and sort of make time for will actually help give you an overall baseline mood. But then having those things that you can break out on a whim if you need them, or if you've had a more difficult day, that can be used in the moment as needed to bring up your mood when you need to do so. And so sometimes it can actually be tough to get to enjoyable activities. So, some people have physical limitations where there's a number of activities that they can't do. Or maybe it is nighttime and something you wanted to do isn't open, or people to do those activities aren't available to do that. So, doing things like reading up or watching videos on topics that you like. So, maybe you're not doing the activity itself, but you're actually going online and checking out maybe videos about the activity, learning more about the activity, can really actually help. So sometimes it gets creative in terms of doing enjoyable and positive activities. If you can't do the activity itself, sort of finding ways to do things that are related to the activity. skiing is actually a pretty good example because there's a whole time of year where, people who can't ski and people who really like skiing will do as much as they can to stay engaged with the sport. So they might watch ski videos or read up on ski form to how to improve their ski form, or maybe read up on ski destinations that they might someday go to. And this is the case with other things as well. If you can't garden in the middle of the winter or garden at night, maybe you're reading up online about different ways to garden or methods or plants you can plant or things like that. And so today we talked about enjoyable activities, and hopefully that was helpful. And this is just one of a couple pathways to positive emotions that we've been talking about here, and we'll talk about more in the next couple episodes as we go on. But again, I'm Dr. Matt B, and these are your emotional minutes, and I'm going to get back and do some skiing. And thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.